Let's get you some problems to help you out with homework tonight. Let's take a look at this rectangle. And it says part A, write the formula for area of a rectangle. Well, I know that area equals length times width. Now, I want you to solve for W. That's part B. So solve the formula for W. So there's my W. I changed the color just so it'll stand out. What's happening between the length and the width? It's multiplying each other. So if I divide L by L, it'll cancel out and go away. Makes a positive 1. But if I divided the right side by L, I need to divide the left side by L. So solve the formula for W. Here we are. W equals, or width equals, area divided by length. Use the new formula to solve the, let's see, I don't want the length, I want to solve for the width. Sorry for the typo, for the width of the rectangle. So I don't know what W is. That's the reason we have a question mark there, but I do know that the area is 60.3 centimeters squared. And I do know that the length is 3 centimeters squared. Excuse me, 3 centimeters. And it's just division. 60.3 divided by 3 will get us 20.1 centimeters. So what is the width? It's 20.1 centimeters. What about if we're using a triangle? Write the formula for the area of a triangle. 1/2 base times height is going to equal the area of a triangle. Solve the formula for h. Well, we can divide b by b, and that'll get that to go away, and divide this by b, but how do we handle fractions? So let's take a look at that real quick. Whenever you see a pesky fraction, let's just say it's one fraction. There's not a bunch, just one fraction. And the other side of the equation just has one number or one variable. Here's a really easy trick. You're going to multiply the fraction by its reciprocal. What's a reciprocal? Well, if we looked at the fraction 2/3, you would take the fraction and turn it upside down and multiply, and you would get 6/6 or 1. If I took a look at 4/5, flip it upside down, multiply it across and get 20/20, so it equal 1. It even works for negative fractions, so let's use -1/3. If you flipped it upside down, you'd get -3/3, and that would still equal +1 because negative divided by negative is positive. So what's the reciprocal of 1/3? It is 3/1. 3 times 1 is 3, 1 times 3 is 3, and so it cancels out and basically makes it a +1, and it frees up everything right here. So we just pull it down, x plus 30 equals, and then what's happening here? We multiplied this side by 3, so we better multiply this side by 3, because 3/1 is the same as 3. So what's 3 times h? 3h. And then we're free of the fraction, and then you can either solve for h or you can solve for x. In this case, let's just go ahead and solve for the x. -30 minus 30. X equals, because this will cancel out, 3h minus 30. And if you want the x all by itself, you're done. So now let's go back and take a look at that triangle problem. How can I get this 1/2 to go away? Just multiply it by its reciprocal. 1/2 becomes multiplied by 2/1 becomes +1, and 2/1 is the same thing as 2, so let's multiply this right side by 2, and we're left with base times height equals 2 times a is 2a. And then we want to solve for the height, so I want the h to stay, but we've got to divide both sides by b. b divided by b is +1, and so there we go. The new formula is h equals 2a divided by b. Use this new formula to solve for h, so h equals 2. What's a? What's the area? 49.4975 divided by the base, which is 6.5. And so after multiplying the 49 and the big long decimal by 2, I know it's 98.995, and we're just going to divide that by 6.5. And the next thing that we know is that the answer is 15.23 inches. So the height is 15.23 inches. What about finding the perimeter of a rectangle? I know this is its length, that's its width, here's its length, there's its width. We can add all of these sides up. How many L's do we have? We have 2 L's, so 2 times L. How many W's do we have? 2 times W, so we just need to add it all up. And there's the official formula for perimeter of a rectangle. Let's go and solve for L because I want to know what L is. I know what the width is, I know what the perimeter is. I want to go find the length of this rectangle. So I want to know how long is this side right here. So let's isolate length all by itself. In this case, let's get the 2W away from it and subtract 2W over here. Cancels out. And so P minus 2W, since they're not like terms, we just set them side by side, equals 2 times L. Since they're multiplying each other, let's divide both sides by 2. 2 divided by 2 is positive 1. And so we've rewritten our equation as length equals perimeter minus 2 times the width, all of it divided by 2. And if we go and we put in the values that we have, so perimeter is 30.6 minus 2 times 3.1, and divide all of that by 2, we get 24.4 divided by 2, which gives us 12.2 for the width, or excuse me, the length, 12.2 meters. So our diagram makes no sense at all, but it's not drawn to scale. We're just using that as a representation of a rectangle. And if you've stayed along this far into the video, let's just go ahead and help you out a lot with homework. These two are actually on your homework assignment. Basically, both of them are solve for y. So we want to get this y all by itself, and we want to get this y all by itself. First step that we can do, minus 3x from both sides here on number 6. So this would cancel out, and we're left with positive 1/5 times y equals positive 7 minus 3 times x. How can we get this 1/5 to go away? We would actually multiply it by its reciprocal, which is 5, 5 over 1 or 5. And so that would cancel that out, and we're left with y. But this entire side over here needs to be multiplied by 5 also. So 5 times 7 equals 35, and 5 times negative 3x is negative 15x, and we're done with number 6. Number 8 is the pi that causes a lot of issues there. Let's just go ahead and minus 7x from both sides. Okay, and I'm just going to say it's pi minus 7x equals, again, this part goes away, negative 2 times y. And then the last step would be to just divide both sides by negative 2. And we're done. Y will equal pi minus 7x divided by negative 2.